Okay, listen. I know you're mad, but at least let the intro play this time. Why not? It'd be the first thing I saw play tonight. Let's go! Why not? The Toronto Maple Leafs! I guess my brand is a yell and scream. I don't script these. Are the Leafs all right? So what you get is from the heart. Welcome to LFR. Iggy, come. Good boy. Give me paw. Oh, good boy, Iggy. Leafs Nation, this is your sign to get a dog. They're loyal, they're loving, they're lots of fun, and wait, watch this. It's amazing how easy it is to watch them enjoy something 4 times. Imagine enjoying something 4 times. Can you imagine? All right, how we doing? We on? We focused? All right. Hey everyone, Steve Dangle here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's called Steve Dangle. Very creative, I know. I began this YouTube channel 14 years ago. This was my 14th full season of LFR. What's LFR, you ask? Glad that you asked. Leafs fan reaction. I am somehow a fan of this team. I have yet to make a second round video for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who I'm a fan for, and I'm starting to more and more every day feel like I have to be a fan for. What is wrong with you? I have to do this! This is my gig! What is up with you? Still watching this team. You know what's amazing? Began this channel October 2007. 3 years after this slump of never winning a playoff series began! 17 years! This slump is almost a full-grown adult! It's been a long time for the young fella! Someone get it a beer! In some provinces you can, and in all provinces there are Leaf fans. There are Leaf fans in Quebec. Shout out that Leaf fan on TikTok. Ooh, it's gonna be a tough, just life for you. Just life for you. The Habs come back. They win Game 7 over the Toronto Maple Leafs, 3-1. Couldn't be 3-0, that'd be too perfect. You can't get shut out in back-to-back elimination games. You can only get almost shut out in back-to-back elimination games. Imagine being a Leaf fan in Quebec right now. Listen, you come here to this YouTube channel to watch me freak out. I get it. I've seen the numbers. Before the Game 4 comeback that the Leafs mounted against Columbus last year, where they scored like 3 goals in 3 minutes. It was amazing. And then they went in overtime and they forced Game 5, and then they got shut out in Game 5, 3-0. But we're not talking about that right now. Before that win, that Game 4 win against Columbus, the most watched Leafs win video on this YouTube channel was 26th. It was 26th ever on my channel. You come here to watch me rant about them losing. If you're a fan from another fan base, you're a sicko! What are you doing putting me through this? But I get it. I understand the entertainment value. But for a lot of Leaf fans, it's cathartic. It's cathartic, and I get your rage out. I am your mouthpiece. Or you're here because you're like, what went wrong? In 2017 against the Capitals, I know the Capitals were the better team, but what went wrong? And in 2018, I know we weren't the favored team. I know we came back from down 3-1 against the Bruins, but we were leading heading into the third period. What went wrong? Notice how I just skipped right over 2013. 2019, this team was the better team through 5 games. Stop me if you've heard this before. They had a 3-2 series lead, but they lost anyway. Worst game of the series, Game 7. Stop me if you heard that before. What went wrong? Columbus. Biggest comeback in franchise history, damn it. Except for when they were down 3-0 in the Stanley Cup final and they came back and won that, blah, blah. That was in 1942. It's a little bit distant. But they had an amazing comeback after blowing a 3-goal lead in the previous game. First team in NHL history to blow a 3-goal lead in one game and overcome a 3-goal deficit in the next, because they are magic. They are all kinds of the worst magic in the world. And they lost Game 5. They get shut out in Game 5. Once again, their worst game of the series. All Canadian division. They are greatly favored. Greatly favored. Why are they greatly favored? Everyone's just a Leafs homer now. And then they take the ice. They take the ice with a fast team, with a team with top-end skill, with role players who know their role, with guys who will hit you, guys who will punch you in the face, a little bit of pushback for once. One of the best defensive signings they've had in decades. One of the best defensive groups, 1 through 6, they've had in decades. A little bit of a question mark in net, though. I'm not sure about this. And then the answer presents himself as literally a golden retriever in Jack Campbell. They're first place by a wide margin in Canada. Habs, play them 10 times, win 7, mop the floor with them. They're going to play them in the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time in since 1979. Game 1, unbelievable injury to John Tavares. Like, how do you predict that's going to happen? That he's going to get hit and accidentally fall into somebody? You can't predict it. Despite all that, the Leafs fight, and they keep it close, and they lose. But they fought and they kept it close. Win it for John in Game 2, and they do! 5-1! Mop them! Game 3's tight, though. Game 3 is tight, and that's the game Montreal wants to play. And it is tight. It's only 2-1 for the Leafs. For the Leafs! They actually win. Game 4, it's their most complete work of art in a Stanley Cup playoff game in well over a decade. They win 4-0. They are a game away from the second round for the first time since 2004, since I was in the 10th grade, over half my life ago! They're down 3-0. 1. Oh my God. 2. They're not going to really. 3! They actually do it! Give away 1 minute into overtime. And they lose. And you go, well, they were clearly the better team through 4 games. It was a giveaway in overtime that cost them, and the Habs played their best game of the series, bar none their best game of the series, and still blow a 3-goal lead. How don't you favor the Leafs going into Game 6? Game 6. Muzzin goes down with an injury halfway through the game. Leafs are down 2-0. Midway through the third period. And even without Jake Muzzin, who had 2 goals in their comeback the previous game, they find a way! And they come back and they force overtime. And there are 15 shots in that overtime. And folks, let me tell you something. The Leafs had 13 of them! And with one of the 2, off of another giveaway, the Habs score in front of fans for the first time in almost 15 months. And they force a Game 7. And in Game 7, in Toronto, with it all on the line, they play their worst game of the series. Easily, indisputably, undisputedly, whatever. Words don't matter. This team is nothing but words. No action. They lose Game 7. And so you come here to watch me freak out. You come here to watch me lose it, right? That's what you're here for. You're here to watch me lose it, and you're here for answers. What is wrong with this team? Last year, this was a biopsy and autopsy. This was, I could tell you everything that was wrong with it. They had to trade Nazem Kadri, and Tyson Barrie comes back the other way. And Kyle Dubas' hands are kind of tight. He tried to get TJ Brody in that, and Nazem Kadri said no. So he goes out and he gets Tyson Barrie, and he's not exactly what the team needs. Cody Ceci, that trade. Oh yeah, just giving a divisional rival, Connor Brown. Trying to get up from under a contract, though, with Nikita Zaitsev. I get it. You didn't have to play him on the top pair. The Stars weren't scoring. They were getting goalied. That's what we called it last year. They relied on a teenager to spark them in Nick Robertson in the playoffs. The defense was shocking. The goaltending actually wasn't that bad, but it was the second best again. I could give you everything. This year, what was the matter? They blew a 3-1 series lead to the Montreal Canadiens. What was the matter? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I mean, what do you want? They had a guy win the Rocket Richard Trophy. He scored over 40 goals in a shortened season in which he missed games with a wrist injury. And his special move, Mortal Kombat, finish him, is a wrist shot. Won it anyway. The mettle of this team. Surely this is the year. And surely they're stronger. Mitch Marner. Everyone doubting him. He's making a lot of money. He wants to be paid like a superstar. It's about time he played like a superstar. Top 5 in NHL scoring. All the games with Matthews out of the lineup, he steps up. TJ Brody. I mean, what a signing. What a signing. Morgan Riley, though. He's getting a lot of criticism down the stretch. Wasn't playing well defensively down the stretch. He was fantastic in this series. He was so good. Jack Gamble's numbers were better than Price's heading into this game. What do you change? What do you change except the jersey? 6,250 days since they last won a playoff series. Nearly 250 players, I think I saw on the broadcast. I think it was closer to 300 players. Nearly 30 of them goalies played for this team since they last won a playoff series. Make a trade, sign a guy, draft a guy. What? They've been doing that this whole time. No combination of skill and grit and youth and experience. No combination of it works. And if anybody resents playing for this team, get lost. Get out of here, you're not needed. What was it, the pressure? There was no one in the building! All season. You had 550 people in the building all season, total. And I tell you what, if any of the players on this team are not on this team next year, and you grew up cheering for the Toronto Maple Leafs, I just want you to know. I need you to know this. At the back of your every thought. No matter where you go, no matter what success you experience for the rest of your career, no matter how many Stanley Cups you win, you'll never achieve your dream. Yeah, I will. What are you talking about? My dream is to win the Stanley Cup. That was your dream? That was your childhood dream. Because I thought specifically your childhood dream was to win the Stanley Cup with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Cup somewhere else would be nice. Be really cool. Get a ring. It's expensive. You'll get a great ring. But it won't be what it could be here. All or nothing. Oshawa Brewery. They were making hand sanitizer during the pandemic. They still are, I believe, last I checked. Support them. Support local. I was talking to Adam Wilde, who I do the podcast with. He's been a friend of mine since the Leafs last won a playoff series. More than half my life. And every year I have the conversation that I'm going to stop doing LFR. I'm not going to do it anymore. They keep losing. They keep disappointing me. Look at me. How much longer can I be yelly, screamy man in the camera? And I think I figured out what it is. It's not just anger. It's not just frustration. It's not just being sad about the team. I don't know what to say. What are you supposed to do when you're living is saying things and you don't know what to say? There's no sports team on earth like this one. None. I think for the first time all video, I got to pause. I don't. What else is there? Let me tell you what else is there. All right, let's have this conversation. All right. Forget all the little stuff. Like I said on the stream, I was talking about like Pierre Engvall. Like Engvall, he had a really good start to his career, and he signs a 2-year deal. I think it was. He's making 1.25 mil. Then he struggles for the rest of the season. Also, the pandemic hits. Let's talk about the pandemic. The pandemic hits. Goodness gracious. And guys like Engvall are getting like league min 2-way contracts in the summer. He was lucky to sign 1.25. That's a contract you probably try to move on from in the offseason. Forget him. Forget that. It doesn't matter. When the Leafs signed Mitch Marner to 10.8, his junior number, whatever, long term, the long-term idea makes the cap hit more stomachable. You can handle it a little better. Because the cap is going to go up. The salary cap is going to go up. And every year, he will take up less and less a percentage of your salary cap. Mitch Marner did not ask for the pandemic. Kyle Dubas did not ask for the pandemic. Nobody asked for this. But for a team that does Simone Biles level of cap gymnastics every year, sending guys up, sending guys down, they're getting dizzy. You got to decide if this makes sense still. It might have made sense when you thought the cap was going to go up every year. I don't know if it still does. Steve, don't be ridiculous. He finished top 5 in NHL scoring. Did you see any of the series with your own eyes? You know, I got a lot of messages today. What have I got? What have I got? I got 36 texts. 5 emails to keep it chill there. 3 Facebook messages. Who uses Facebook? 36 texts. A bunch of tweets. Sweet, heartfelt tweets from you. Steve, you deserve better. I hope you're all right. It's hockey. It's hockey. I'm going to be fine. But I've gotten a new perspective over the last year for a wide variety of reasons that I will at minimum discuss with my therapist and at maximum discuss on the podcast. And it's just not that important. This team is important to me. I know it's important to you. That's why you're here. There's no casuals here. You're watching a hockey video on YouTube. There's no casuals here. But it's not that serious. I want to give an enormous shout out to producer Drew Livingstone, producer Stu, Tom Stewart, producer Stefan Paré, and producer Soup, Graham Campbell. Everybody at Sportsnet for giving us a chance with the Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle on the Sportsnet YouTube channel. Thank you for helping to realize the digital world that I've been yelling and screaming about for nearly a decade and a half. It was a success. And as I said on the stream, that over 60,000 people watched concurrently and hundreds of thousands watched over the course of the night. We were going to continue in round 2. We were going to do every game. We were going to do round 3 if they made it. We were going to do round 4 if they made it. You could have shared the happiest non-getting married or having a baby moment of my life. Well. Maybe next year. What do you do? What would you do? Put a comment in the comment box down below. What would you do? I don't know what I'd do. Should have got Taylor Hall instead of Nick Foligno. I mean, no one asked Nick Foligno to get hurt. Least of all, Nick Foligno. Well, if Muzzin doesn't get hurt, like last year. Oh, the Tavares injury. Listen, I don't know what to tell you. There have been enough ifs to create a football team out of them over the past decade and a half. And do you understand? We're talking about the decade and a half slump of not winning a playoff series. We're ignoring the over half century of not winning a championship. Not winning a championship since there were single-digit teams in the league. Habs fans, you probably want me to talk about the Habs a little bit. I mean, they really didn't change the game plan like all series. They were going to be bang and crash. They were going to be dump and chase, and they were going to crash the front of the net and hope something good happened. And they did. And they won. Carey Price was good, like we knew he would be. He was not superhuman. He was very good. He wasn't superhuman. Brendan Gallagher didn't even have a great series. The worst goal of the series goes in. And I can't even blame Jack Campbell, because until Nylander scored with like a minute 36 to go, that was the game-winning goal! So where do you go from here? You have an expansion draft. You got a bunch of young players. I'd like to see Spezza back. I don't know what to say. Before this gets any more depressing, I think I'm just going to cut it off. At least when talking about hockey. I've talked about ending the LFRs. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do it. I think the percentage chance is pretty low. I would like to evolve what I do, because talking about this team sucks! I'm never going to know what it's like to grow a beard. Oh, God. I'm just never going to know. I will. But you guys are special. Here I am, John. You guys are special. Listen. That there got that trophy, that replica Stanley Cup, for being the top fundraiser for Easter Seals. It's a charity that helps out kids with physical disabilities. It's something that means a lot to me. You're great. And I would hate to disappoint you. So I'm not going to do that. And again, it's hockey. It's not that serious. And I would like to call out a charity that I'll put in a link in the description. This thing that happened in Kamloops with the residential schools, finding all those bodies, 215 of them. It's repulsive. And gestures and, orange ribbons and changing your profile pic. I mean, it's all well and good, but like we need some action here. And that's what I was talking about earlier today. So I reached out to a friend and I asked him, what is an Indigenous charity that, you value and trust? And so it's specifically for survivors of residential schools. Link in the description down below. Listen, if you're going to be watching, we might as well do something with it, right? It's terrible. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I do not know what else to say. And I tell you what, I haven't watched the post-game press conferences, and I don't care. I don't care what any of them have to say. And you might go, God, this is so unfair. Like, think of everything they went through this season. And like, God, I have sympathy for that. Past year hasn't been nice for anybody. But like, what do the Habs go through? Like, at the end of the day, it's even playing field for everybody. And they lost again. I don't know what they do. It's going to be a fascinating summer. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell your friends. Thank you. And thank you to Robert Malloy. Forgot to give the shout out for captioning each and every one of the videos this season and for helping to put together this end of season little highlight pack. We'll have a podcast soon. We'll have a Dang It's video soon. As for this channel, I don't know. I'll see you when I'm ready. And for the most part, for a long time, I've gotten along swimmingly with Calgary Flames fans. And you might be watching this right now and going, I'm a Calgary Flames fan and I don't like you at all. I didn't mean you, did I? And the Wall Street Bets forum on Reddit went bananas. Dangles anxiety to the moon! Because even though it was 5-2, even though the Leafs were up 3 goals heading into the third period, I'm like, why don't I feel good? And my anxiety said, that's because every Sens goal counts for 2. I said, what? No, they don't. Yep, anxiety boosters, let's go. But they're literally up 3 goals. Nope, it's 5-4. This is irrational. Everyone's mad at you. Oh no, are they? Remember that thing you said in grade 7? I don't know. Here's everything you said in grade 7. But none of the, but just remember what we talked about in therapy. Anyone who's been, say it with me, irrational fears. Well, you can't make IKEA jokes about him. I'd watch that show, just John Tavares calmly building IKEA furniture.
Hey guys, welcome back to Building IKEA Furniture with JT. Last week we built the Doxta table. This week it's going to be the Calyx shelving units. Shelves are good for holding things. So the first thing you're going to need is your tools. And the number one tool you need for these is a good attitude.
And in the third, who's it gonna be, huh? Who is gonna step up? Who's gonna put on for their team? Who is gonna move some furniture around here?
Hey guys, it's me again, John Tavares, captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs of the National Hockey League. Hockey is a sport that's played on ice. Today, we're gonna be building IKEA furniture today, and today's piece of IKEA furniture is whatever comeback is in Swedish. Now last time I told you the most important tool for you to have is a good attitude, and that's still true. The second most important tool for this piece of furniture is the hands of an angel. The third most important tool are 4 pylons, which the Winnipeg Jets were kind enough to provide. So the first thing you're going to want, you put it over here, the first thing you're going to want to do is get the puck. The puck is the round thing that you play hockey with. Then what you're going to want to do once you have the hockey puck is you're going to want to dangle everyone out of every item of clothing that they've ever worn. Clothing is pieces of cloth that you put on your body. And if you don't, you get arrested. What this is going to do, apart from looking really funny, is it's going to make everyone forget that William Nylander exists. And then the final step, once you dangle around the fourth and final pylon, is you're going to want to give the puck to Willie, who's going to score it in styles. Did I do it, Joe? You hear what I called him? Yeah. How did the Leafs create their own bad luck on this goal? All right, kids, we're going to have to look for clues. Where should we start? Oh, I know. Whoever the camera pans to first after the other team scores. Oh, it's never fun being the camera pan guy. Oh, no. Morgan Riley, a defender for the Toronto Maple Leafs, was just trying to do his job, which is defend the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's on his knees. The puck is right in front of him. And he just kind of yeets it. Now, of course, there is a time and a place to yeet the puck, but on your knees in your own slot and tape to the other team is why? Leafs power play, why are you the way that you are? Am I supposed to go to bed after watching that? Just pace around the house for 4 hours? Finally go to bed, but I'm just scrolling TikTok? My wife comes down the stairs at 4 in the morning like, what are you doing? Making pasta, it's got cheese! Like I said, extremely likable team. Victory Puppy Ziggy! Who's the goodest boy? You or Jack Campbell? It's a tie! Oh! Leafs win! 3-2 over the Montreal Canadiens, and Jack Campbell breaks Felix Potvin record with his 10th consecutive win to start the season. Now, granted, it's not a very typical season on account of it took him like 3 months, but he's done it nonetheless. Tied the NHL record for wins to start a season. Jack Campbell is in the middle of doing something special. And I am taking this off now because it's restricting my jaw. So I think they were kidding. So I'm not ripping on them. But I saw that. And so many people who say, hey, sometimes it happens. Hey, last game you got goalied by their goalie. This game you got goalied by your goalie. Ah! Okay. So that's how you interpret hockey. That's how you interpret sports. And that's fine. That's okay. God, there's so many people. There are so many people in the world. There are so many different ways to do things. And that's yours. And that's cool. But when you're going for a walk because that's all you're allowed to do these days. And even that, I'm not so totally sure if walking is legal. But even like when you're going for a walk, right? And you want to listen to like music or a podcast or something, do you just throw on a PDF of sheet music? Yeah? You just throw on a picture of your favorite jam and go, oh, this is my favorite part. Wait. I know that's right! Then he remembered he was playing the Leafs and it was like Popeye crushing an entire tin of spinach. And boys and girls, God bless the Toronto Maple Leafs because they are a constant reminder to be what you are. Today, they might call that sticking to your brand because we live in a dystopian hellscape, but the Leafs have a brand! And they stick to it like poop on Velcro! You know what? No, this isn't right. What's not right? Come on, man, I got a video to make. No, I got something to say. I want to call them out. Who, the Leafs? What do you think I'm about to do? No, not the stupid Leafs. You! Huh? No, I've had it. You show up every 3 months without even clicking subscribe to see the Leafs screaming man go kaboom! And I'm sick of